Hello team and welcome back to the channel. So before starting the video, a humble request to you all, please subscribe to the channel. Okay, we are very close to 1000 subscribers and I upload videos every day. Okay, also I'm recording this video as 2 a.m. in the morning, so I hope you will subscribe. Okay, now let's get started with the video. Okay, so in today's video what we are going to do, we are going to create an end-to-end CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins, and we are going to build and deploy a Java based web application. Okay, so let me explain you this flow diagram which I have created. So first of all, user will commit the code inside GitHub, and through webhook the pipeline inside Jenkins will be triggered. Okay, then first step will be started, that is compilation of the code. So that will be happening to find out if there are any syntax based errors in our source code. Okay, once compilation is done, then we will run unit test cases to execute all the test cases that we have written. Okay, so once that is also completed, then we will run a security tool which is known as Sonarqube. Sonarqube is a tool which helps you to generate a report which will contain the details about any if any bugs exist in your source code, if any vulnerabilities are there, code smell and other issues. Okay, so that report will be generated, and once that is done, then we will move to next step, which is OWASP dependency check stage. Okay, so that is also another security tool which is used for performing the scan on the source code repository to find out if there are any commonly known vulnerabilities in our source code. Okay, so there is a huge list of vulnerabilities that is in market, so dependency check will run the scan and find out if it exists in your code also or not. Okay, so once that is completed, then we will move on to Apache Maven stage, which will perform the packaging of the application, or you can say which will build the application to generate the artifact in the form of jar file. Okay, so once that part completed, then we will move to one of the most important stages, which is Docker build and push. So basically, using a Docker file and the artifact that we generated in previous stage, we will create a Docker image. Okay, so we will build it, then we will push it to our Docker Hub repository. So once we have pushed it, then using a Trivy, another Docker image scan tool, we will scan the Docker image to find out if there are any vulnerabilities in the Docker image. Okay, so once that is done, then finally using a Docker container, we will deploy the application and access the application in browser. Okay, so this is what we are going to do, and I hope this video is going to be very interesting for you also. Okay, so make sure to watch the video till end so that you get to understand everything, whatever step I am executing. Okay, also the script that I'll be using will be in the description, so you can get it from there, as well as the okay, let me just show you. So if I open this page, you can see here is all the stages whatever I'm going to use. That script is here. Okay, so that I will share this script to you as well. Okay, now with that being said, let's start the implementation part. Okay team, so this is the Jenkins server that I have, and this is the source code that I'm going to use. Okay, so this is a static web application based in Java. You can see the languages used in this application. Okay, so let's start. Before creating the pipeline, we need to configure certain tools. So there are a list of plugins you need to install. These are the plugins. You can just take a screenshot and install all these plugins. Okay, once done, then you need to go to global tool configuration, and here we need to install certain tools. First we need to configure Java. So in my case I will use JDK 11. Okay, and here we will select install automatically and install from Adoptium. So here I will select the version as 11. Okay, next up we will configure Sonarqube scanner because we are going to use it. So I will provide a name as Sonar scanner. Okay, select the version, the latest one only. Okay, next up we have Maven also we are going to use in our pipeline. So Maven 3 is the name I will provide, and the version I will select as 3.6.0. Then we have a dependency check, which is another security tool. So let's just provide the name as DP. Okay, and version we will select from dependency check. I want to use the version 6.5.1. okay. Next, finally we will add Docker also. So let's provide the name as Docker, and we will use the latest version. So select latest, click on apply, and we are done. Okay, now we can start creating our pipeline. Okay, so let's click on create a job. provide a name as let's say just build and deploy. Okay, build and deploy we are going to do. We'll select the type as pipeline, click OK. Okay, since this DevOps is all about following the best practices and performing like providing security over pipeline also. So for the best practices we will use this option, discard old builds, and we will keep just 2 builds in our history so that it does not occupy too much space. Okay, then let's scroll down to pipeline. Here always start with the template because it makes things much easier. So first stage in our case will be git checkout to fetch the source code. Okay, and to write, let me just make it little big so that it can, yeah, okay. So also like this pipeline syntax is like very useful tool. So let's open it, and let's say that we want to add the stage for git. So we will click on git. Okay, and copy the repository URL here. Okay, and let's paste it here, and branch name. So in my case I have a branch named main, and since it's a public repository, so credential is not required. We will generate the script, copy this, and let's paste it here. Okay, one stage done, git checkout done. Next stage is to run the code compile. Okay, so let's create a clone of this. Okay, and the name we want to provide will be code compile. Okay, and it's like a shell command using Maven we need to run. So as you can see, as of now we have not defined Maven in our pipeline. So even if we run the command as Maven mvn clean compile, it will be failing because Maven is not defined. So let's define Maven as well as JDK. For that we have one option which is known as tools with curly braces. So inside curly braces we need to define the format is tool type, which is JDK, then in single quotes the name of the tool that we have configured, JDK 11. Okay, then again tool type Maven, name of the tool is Maven 3. Okay, this is done. Now here we can directly add, we need to run the shell command, so we will enclose our command inside shell as such, double quotes, command is mvn compile. Okay, see, 2 stages done, and next stage is to run the unit test cases. So for that also we are going to use Maven. Okay, so let's provide the name as run test cases. Okay, and the command is also very simple, command is Maven test. Okay, now the easy stages are completed. Next what we need to do, we need to set up our Sonarqube. Okay, so first of all we need to create a Sonarqube server. So for that I'm going to use docker run -d to run in detached mode. Then name of our server will be sonar-server. Okay, and port I want to be 9000. Okay, and the image that we are going to use is the community version. So let's select that, lts-community. This is done. Okay, so meanwhile it is creating, it will take little like 1 or 2 minutes I think. Okay, so let's wait for it to complete. Once it completes, then we can start configuring our Sonarqube server as well. So server should be existing here, but port should be 9000 as we have put. Okay, so server started and it should be starting here as well. Yeah, this is good. Sonarqube is starting. Okay, meanwhile I will just add another stage so that we can start configuring that as well. Okay, Sonarqube. Okay, it's still in starting stage, so meanwhile let it be starting. Let's configure our stages. Okay, once the Sonarqube is up and running, then we will set up Sonarqube as well. Okay, so here we will provide the name as Sonarqube analysis. Okay, and here basically before writing the Sonarqube commands, again Sonarqube is a tool, so we need to define the tool somewhere. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is create an environment for Sonarqube. Okay, environment, and inside environment we will be providing the home path of the tool. Okay, scanner underscore home, and then name of the tool. Okay, so tool we have configured as Sonar Scanner in the beginning. I hope you remember. Okay, meanwhile this is also started, so let's set it up. Initial ID password is admin, which we need to update. Okay, so old password is admin, new password I want to keep it as admin123. okay, this is updated. Okay, so this is the Sonarqube page, and one of the most important thing that we need to do first of all is to get a token to authenticate Jenkins so that it can connect to Sonarqube server. Okay, for that we will go to administration, security, then users. Inside users there is this section you can see tokens, on which we will click and provide a name. So let's provide a name as T1, expires in 30 days, it's fine, and we will copy the token. This is the token. Okay, now what we need to do, basically we will go to Jenkins dashboard and we need to add that token in credentials. Okay, so click on credentials, global, add credentials, and here since we are having like a token, so we will select the kind as secret text. Okay, let's put it here, provide a name as sonar-token. Okay, and create. Okay, so this part is done. Let's close this page. Okay, coming back here, so again like we need to use pipeline syntax to create a form of template script. Okay, so let's scroll down until we find something Sonarqube with Sonarqube environment. So this should be, yeah, this one here, as you can see. Okay, so you can see here it is saying no Sonarqube instances configured, because as of now we have not configured, so that also let us do. Okay, as I have told in my previous videos also, these two do not get confused. Global tool configuration is the place where we configure the tools that we install through plugins. Okay, but in configure system we configure different servers. Okay, so we have a server named Sonarqube, this one, so we need to configure. Okay, so here first of all let me copy the URL. This will be the URL of the Sonarqube server. If I scroll down we should be able to see Sonarqube installation. Yeah, click add Sonarqube, provide the URL, and let's provide a name as sonar-server. Okay, token we have already just added, Sonar token, select that, click apply. Okay, so this is also done easily, and then we will refresh this page. Again select the with Sonarqube environment, this one. Okay, so here we will select token, but basically some changes we need to do, that let me just show you. Let's copy this and let's paste it here. Okay, so we will be writing our execution code inside this, but before that one thing I need to do, since we have already configured this server, so we don't need the credentials ID here. Instead we will put the name of our server, which is sonar-server. Okay, and here we will put our commands. Okay, so the command will be going something like this. Basically we have configured our environment, that is that also we will use. Since we are going to write a multi-line command, so we will use like quotations. Okay, 3 quotations, that means multiple line code. Okay, so here we will call out our scanner, which is scanner underscore home. Okay, then bin slash sonar-scanner. Okay, sonar-scanner is the name of the tool that we configured. Then we need to use certain arguments to provide the project name. Okay, so argument goes like this: d sonar dot project name. Okay, so in our case I want to provide the name as java dash web app. Okay, and let's put a slash, that means like this line is over. Then we have another argument which we need to put, that is dsonar dot project key. Okay, before that we need to provide the path of java.binaries file. Okay, so for that we will use this argument. Okay, so in my case I will just put a dot. That means it will like scan whole root directory. Okay, one last argument we need to add, which is this dsonar dot project key. So in our case, let's just provide the same name as our project, so that like everything is in sync only. Okay, Java web app, and here we will close this. Okay, so this is done for Sonarqube as well. Okay, so next up, next stage, what we need to do is configure our OWASP dependency check tool. Okay, so for that, let's create a stage first. Yeah, and let's provide the name of this stage as OWASP dependency check. Okay, this is good, this is done. Okay, so the command of like OWASP dependency check comes in a specific format. Okay, so I have just written it here. Let me show you. Let's copy it, and now I will explain it to you. Okay, see here, the first one, dependency check additional arguments. It provides what kind of argument you want. For example, I want to perform a scan on a specific location, so for that I can use the argument as scan dot slash. I want to perform scan over root directory, so like this I can put. Okay, if I want like if I want the report format to be in HTML, okay, I can write like this. So there are like tons of arguments which you can use, like scan, format, exclude, or like so many things. Like you can explore over Google, but for now I will just use the scan argument. Just leave it. And here ODC installation, basically you need to provide the name of the tool that you configured. So in our case, if we go back to manage Jenkins, global tool configurations, we configured in the beginning. Okay, so here the name that we provided was DP. Okay, so same thing, we will just put it here. Okay, this is the second line, dependency check publisher pattern. This is the here you need to provide the pattern or the format in which the result or the report should be generated. So in my case, by default it comes as dependency dash check dash report dot XML. So we will leave it as that. Okay, so this is also done, and I will execute all these stages directly, so that we can save certain amount of time. Okay, so next up, what I'm going to do is add another stage to build the application and generate a jar file. Okay, so let's do that as well. So we are going to use Maven to build our application. So I will write the name of the pipeline as stage as Maven build, and the command that we are going to run, Maven clean compile. Okay, so this is done. Finally, we are back into we are now into Docker stage. Okay, so for Docker stage as well, I will just create a clone first. Okay, and let's provide a name. So Docker build and push, we will keep it in the same stage. Okay, Docker build and push. Okay, now certain things you need to know. First of all, Docker commands you cannot run directly. They needs to be enclosed in a script. Okay, so let me show you how we are going to do. First of all, pipeline syntax, we will take help from pipeline syntax. Okay, here we will search for with Docker registry. Okay, so here basically you need to provide credentials that is used to log into Docker Hub. Okay, so in my case I have my credentials. I will provide it here. Adi Jaiswal, password will be this. Okay, and let's provide a name as Docker dash cred. Okay, done. Click add. Now we will select the credentials, and Docker installation we already did for the latest version. So let's generate this script now. Okay, so script is generated. Let's copy it and let's, okay, so as I said, like Docker scripts need to be enclosed inside a script. Okay, so I can create a script by using this command, script curly braces, and here we can paste it. Okay, this is not so hard, it's quite easy actually. The only like you need to practice a lot, then only you can become like proficient with this. Okay, now we need to run shell commands of Docker. So first command I want to run is docker build -t and the name. So the name that I want is the web app. Okay, and then we need to provide the path of Docker file. So in our case, if I go to repository, you can see the Docker file is on the root directory, so we don't need to do anything. Rest again also, like let me just show you what is in the Docker file. We are just using a base image with JDK 11, then we are generating artifact, then we are copying the artifact and executing the artifact. Okay, coming back here, path, Docker file path is root directory, so we will put a dot, then we will put the next command, which is to tag, docker tag. Okay, so here original name of the image is web app. Okay, but new name format will be your Docker username / any name you want. So I will just keep it web app : latest. Okay, this is also done. Okay, so next step, we want to push the image. Okay, so yeah, let's run the command as docker push, and the image name that we are having is this one. Let's copy this and paste it here. Okay, so this should do the task and image should be pushed. Okay, this task also completed. So next step we have is to scan the Docker image that we have created. Okay, so first of all, let me just check if we are having Trivy installed or not. Trivy, okay, Trivy is installed. This is good. Steps to install Trivy already, I will just put it in the description, everything. Okay, so let's provide the name as docker image scan. Okay, and here we will run the command for Trivy to scan the image and generate a report. So command will be Trivy space image, then the name of the image that we have created. Okay, so let's put it here. Okay, so till now, these many stages, let me just show you one by one what are the things I have written. First of all, like created a template, then added the tools that are going to be used. With the reason for to add these tools like this is to make sure that these tools are having a global scope on this pipeline. That means anywhere you call a JDK version or something, this JDK version will be used. Okay, similarly for Sonarqube also, we have created an environment so that it can be used anywhere. Okay, then first stage, we are like checking out the code. Checking out basically means to create a local copy of that source code in your Jenkins workspace. Okay, so this first stage is that. Then we are running code compile to perform a compilation process on the source code to find out if there is any syntax based errors. Okay, then we are running the test cases. Basically, if our project has test cases written, then we can run this command to execute those test cases and generate the report, how many test cases failed or passed, like that. Okay, then we have Sonarqube. As explained, this is a security tool which is used for perform the code quality check on our source code. Okay, next we have OWASP dependency check, another security tool to perform vulnerability scanning on the source code, which finds out known vulnerabilities that are present in market. So it checks if your source code is having those or not. Okay, so it will generate a report and all the details about that will be in the report. Okay, next up we have Maven build. Basically it's a process to build the application, basically packaging the application with the dependencies and generating an artifact in the form of jar file or var file, which you already know. Okay, so next stage we have Docker build and push. Basically we are using a Docker file and the artifact and creating a Docker image. Basically image is a package which is in which the artifact is packaged with the environment in which it can run. Okay, so we are building it, then we are tagging it with name, and then we are pushing it to our public repository. Okay, public Docker Hub repository. And next up we have the second last stage, which is to perform a Docker image scan. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are running another Trivy is another security tool which is used for doing the Docker image scan, okay, vulnerability scan on the Docker image. Okay, so let's start the build, and this is going to take a lot of time, I feel, because like lots of things we have are like added, and this is the first time it's installing everything. Okay, so you can see first it installed Sonar scanner tool, then it is installing the JDK 11. Okay, so let's hope it should not take too much time. In case it takes too much time, what I will do, I will little bit like speed up the video so that we can save sort of time. If I scroll up, you can see even Maven 3 is being installed for the first time. As you saw, like this is the first pipeline I created and all the commands and stages I added just now. Okay, so everything happening first time, that is why everything happening from the beginning. Even for the Maven compile stage, it is downloading all the dependencies. Okay, so this is going to be taking little bit of time. Okay, so hopefully, yeah, test cases, since we are not having test cases, so you can see it is saying no tests to run. Okay, else it will just execute the test cases and share the report to us. Okay, so compilation and test cases part like completed. Next we have Sonarqube stage, so that is also in progress. And okay, some error came. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, so even Sonarqube analysis is successful. To view the report, we can go to our Sonarqube server. If I go to home page of Sonarqube, you can see the Sonarqube report has been generated with the same name that we provided, java-web app. There are total 161 lines of code in our project, and inside which you can see like duplications are 24.4%. Okay, more details can be seen over like these options, so you can explore it. Okay, rest like we can leave it as it is as of now. Okay, now coming to next stage, which is OWASP dependency stage. So you can see that is also like extracting, unpacking basically, because it is being done for the first time. Okay, so this basically this OWASP dependency check tool, it is going to take little bit of time. See, these you are seeing and NVD CVE, these are sort of like database which contains the information or details about the common vulnerabilities. Okay, so it is going to download from 2003 the information from that time till 2022 or 23, I think. Okay, depending on the version you are using, since the latest version as of now is 8 point something and I am using 6.5.1. okay, one of the main reasons that I wanted to use the lesser version so that it should not take too much of time. Okay, but let's see how much time does it take. Okay, it's already on 2015, little bit more, and then it should be completed. So we will wait for it to complete. Meanwhile, if you are like still here and watching the video, make sure to subscribe because it's quite late for me to make this video. Already it's about 3 AM in the morning. Okay, so we are on 2018 now. Okay, what else is there? Okay, as I mentioned, like also this pipeline which I have written, let me show you again. If we go back to configure, so this pipeline which I have written just now in front of you, so this whole pipeline also I will share it to you. I will just create let me do it now itself. Why we need to wait? Okay, let me copy all the things and let's create a new file. Okay, we will provide the name as Jenkins file, and let's put the steps here. Commit the changes. Yeah, so you can see if you want to use this file, and obviously like you need to modify even, because if you want to use the same file you need to modify it. So you can just get it from here. Okay, meanwhile we can go back to our application and see the progress here. So you can see like 4 stages have been completed: Git checkout, code compile, test cases, and Sonarqube analysis. OWASP dependency check is running because it is running for the first time. if I run this whole thing second time, you will see it will take much lesser time. Okay, so OWASP dependency check. Okay, one issue. I think we need to cancel the build because it won't be able to find the jar file. Why it won't be able to find? I will just tell you in a minute. You see, file not found. The reason, I forgot to run the Maven package command. Instead, by mistake, I just ran clean compile. Okay, so let's just correct it quickly, and then again we will run. This time it should not take much, like too long time. Okay, test cases. But so here we need to add package. PSCKAG. Stay on the video because at the end only like this application will be running, and then we can see how hard work looks like. Okay, so second stage started. Okay, let's monitor through here. You can see second time it is taking very less times. You can see here 10 seconds first build, second time 3 seconds, test cases 3 seconds. But Sonarqube will take similar time because like it is going to do whole scanning again. But OWASP dependency check should take very less time. Let's see, it should take around like 30 or 32 seconds, I think, not more than that. Okay, Maven build should take longer because we have ran the package command which needs lots of dependencies, so it is going to download those dependencies. Okay, you can see here. Okay, we are already in Docker stage, so login succeeded and it is able to build the images as well. Image got tagged also. Okay, meanwhile let me open the Docker Hub repository so I can show you the image in my repository. Okay, let me open the page. Yeah, it is already logged in. If I go to my profile, see, just now we have pushed because I think in pipeline it might be successful. See, pushed. Okay, so here you can see updated few seconds ago, and this is the image that we have just created, just pushed inside our public repository. Okay, meanwhile let's see progress. Here you can see the scanning is done and the report of the Docker image is generated, and you can see lots of vulnerabilities we have in our Docker image. Okay, so for now let's just ignore because we cannot like fix everything at this point. Okay, still let's scroll down and let's see the final result. Okay, so everything is success. Now we have created our Docker image also, and Docker image, as I showed you, it is created here with the version. It should be latest, I think. Yeah, latest. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to deploy this application through a container. Okay, so let's add another stage and let's see if it works fine or not. So copy this here, or maybe it's better to run not in inside Jenkins, instead on the machine itself directly. Okay, or maybe, yeah, why not, yeah, itself. Let's run. Let's copy the Docker command. Basically what I want to do is create a container and start the application inside that. Okay, that's how we deploy application using Docker. So Docker container is the name we want to provide. Okay, and here let's remove these two ones, and let's say I want to run the command as docker run -d, or maybe not -d, docker run -name. Then we'll be having name, let's say that just web app will be fine. Okay, then we'll be having docker up -name. Okay, so we need to provide port also. So port, let's say 8081:8081. Okay, and the name of the image which we need to provide. So let's copy this here and let's first paste here. Okay, so image name is correct. We will copy this from again, and this time we will paste it here. Okay, so let's apply. I don't know if it will work here or not, but let's try. Let's see what happens. Okay, I did not save. Okay, saved now. Click here, build now. Okay. Okay, let's see now what happens. But like image is already created, we just need to confirm if we are able to deploy the application inside the container, and are we able to access the application or not. Okay, so let's wait and let's see. Okay, Sonarqube also done with lesser time. OWASP dependency check, you can see like second time it is taking 11 seconds because it has already downloaded all the like information or databases that is required for the analysis to be completed. Okay, so let's see again how much time it takes now. Okay, it is taking more. Let's go back and check in the log section. Okay, it is stuck. I think it happens once in a while. Okay, yeah, so this is also successful. Maven clean package. It should not take too much time now. Done. Then we have Jenkins. Push also completed. Okay, push is happening now. Okay, Trivy, it is running now. Trivy completed. Login succeeded. Docker run. Okay, so container, you can see it has started, and I hope like we should be able to access the application. If I write here 8081, okay, it is saying here ki okay, the problem we are having a problem actually. See, Tomcat started on port 8080. Okay, but my Jenkins itself is running on port 8080, so this is going to be a little bit problem. Okay, instead, okay, I can show you another thing. Okay, let me do that as well. If I create another VM, what actually I wanted to show is that the image that we have created is correct or not. Okay, so what I will do, I will create another VM quickly. Medium, let's select the network as 8. Okay, meanwhile quickly I will install the Docker in our application. Okay, it hasn't started. Let me add it in the my Mobax term. Username will be Ubuntu. See, application is deployed. It is like running. You can see it said like Tomcat is up and running. But the problem that we are facing now actually is that Tomcat is also running on the same port and Jenkins is also running on the same port. But since Jenkins is already running, so Tomcat cannot be like accessible through that. Okay, but no issues. We just need to check if the application, that the image that we have built is able to run or not. Okay, so copy, paste it here. Next command would be this one. Also, you see one thing you need to note, it is the job is still in running phase. This is because like I did not make the application to run in background. Okay, there is a tag which you can use like -d, which makes the application to run in background, but I did not choose that, so the job is still running. Okay, so no issues. Let it be. Meanwhile, just let me run all these commands. Okay, what I am going to do basically is like execute the docker run. I will create a container on this VM machine. Okay, and then we should be able to see our application running. I hope so, at least. Okay, paste it here. Then we have these commands. Okay, 2 final commands. Yeah, one last command to restart the Docker. Okay, so let's create the container here. Docker run -d -name web app port we want 8080 now because it is available here. Okay, and the image name I have already noted down, I think. Yeah, this is the image name. Copy it, paste it here. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, you can see image is pushed properly, so it is able to be fetched here. Okay, so it shows like it has container has been created. So again we will try to access it. Okay, and this is the correct VM, right? And voila, the application is up and running. You can see that means like it was deployed properly, but the problem is port. You can see the Tomcat port is 8080, so obviously it will cause problems. Okay, but still you can see like application is still in running status. Okay, because I did not make it to run in background. Okay, no issues. Also you can see at this point we are receiving multiple vulnerabilities in our source code, because like there are the reason for that, there are like multiple after a Maven package, multiple things created. Okay, so these issues are coming inside those. Okay, so okay, hopefully by this you can see at least now how like OWASP dependency check shows us results also. Okay, so what I will do, I will just cancel this, and okay, this is not very simple basic application. Okay, so I hope this video was useful at least, and I hope you will like and subscribe the channel. So thanks for watching.